Here we are. We are live here on YouTube as the Chicago Bears have made a shocking move. Roquan Smith traded to the Baltimore Ravens. We will have full details here. Lots to unpack. I'm shocked, but I'm not. It's kind of a weird one. Just crazy, and we're going to break it all down here. Here are the details. Second-round pick, fifth-round pick to Chicago for Roquan Smith. I told you it could happen. No one wanted to believe me. I'm conflicted. I like Roquan. He's a good player. He has been inconsistent this year. We got to be fair. I'll tell you this. Ryan Poles is not messing around at all. I mean, he is not messing around. Robert Quinn last week. Roquan Smith this week. I mean, it's happening. Ryan Poles is putting his fingerprints all over this franchise. He wants to build through the draft. That is very, very clear. He told us that from day one. What did he say at his introductory press conference? He believes in building teams through the draft with homegrown talent. Roquan's a homegrown kid, but if they didn't want to pay him what he wanted, this was always going to be the outcome, whether it was now or a tag and trade. So give me your one-word reaction. Let me know. What's your one-word reaction to Roquan Smith getting traded? I'll get some shout-outs here. I mean, I'm shocked, but I'm not, incredibly surprised, so I don't know what that word is. Maybe the one-word reaction is inevitable. When Roquan and the Bears couldn't come to terms before training camp, and he held out and he requested a trade and said he was going to bet on himself and play this year out, and he's played it kind of inconsistent, maybe this is just how it was always going to be. The comments are flying in. We already got 1,200 people live. Aaron says fine. Sid says okay. One word, must. Shock prized. Needed. Smith wanted to go. I mean, fleeced. I don't think the Bears got fleeced here. I don't think you were getting a first-round pick for Roquan. He wasn't playing as good this year. Still a really good player, but not a superstar. And you got to be the best player on the field every week. Sealand with the $100 super chat. Sealand with the $100 super chat. We're starting early. I got the liquor ready, Sealand. We got the beer bongs. Let's go. Let's get it started. If you guys super chat, I'll be here for hours. We know that to be true. John Falsetta kicking us off. I'm from Buffalo. Rumor is a third for Eddie Jackson. I haven't seen anything about Eddie Jackson, but if the last week has told us anything, Ryan Poles is not scared to make trades. He traded Khalil Mack in the offseason. He traded Robert Quinn. He has now traded Roquan Smith. What, your three best defensive players? Eddie Jackson would be right there next. Jalen Johnson. I don't think Johnson's getting traded. I don't think Bojack's getting traded, but who knows? Anything feels possible right now. Lucas Praying, already 9 picks for next year. That's a plus. Yeah, the Bears got a lot of picks, man. I'll tell you this. I'm going to do a post-NFL trade deadline Bears mock draft. It'll be Wednesday or Thursday. I don't know yet, but that will happen. Here are the pick totals right now. You got a first, 2 seconds, a third, 2 fourths, 2 fifths, and a seventh right now. 9 total picks, and you got to wonder if more are coming. Did David Montgomery get traded? I don't know. Lucas Praying already. Oh, he already sent in that super chat. Appreciate that, my friend. Then Sealand with the 100. He says, love the trade, total, and complete rebuild from this team. Will look completely different this time next year. Crazy times. Sealand, we haven't showed the super chat menu yet. I'm going to need a couple warm beers in here from someone, please. And the beer bongs are going to get flowing. So that is where we're at. $5. We'll crack the beers open. $20, shots of Fireball. $100, we're chugging beers. We're doing beer bongs. Maybe we'll have some pinch hitters from the Chat Sports office step in and do some. But I'm down to chop this up for a while. We can just talk big picture stuff, too. Sealand, you're a legend. I got to tally up the $100 Super Chat clubs from the last couple of weeks and get that updated. I'm not going to have the graphic updated today because it's just not updated. I got to go back and double-check everything. But we missed you on the watch party yesterday. Were you at the game? Let me know, Sealand. But it is what it is. Let's show the trade again, Sam. People are asking for it in the chat. 2023 second and a 2023 fifth-round pick for Roquan Smith. Those are the trade details. That's it. I mean, a second and a fifth. If you weren't going to get a first, I'm glad they got an additional pick with the trade, right? Fifth isn't great, but you get another pick on top of the second. You've now added a second, a fourth, and a fifth for Roquan Smith and Robert Quinn. Before the year, you probably wouldn't have taken that, but I think now with how things sit, I think you're feeling pretty good overall. Oh, cold. Okay. Who won the trade? Type CHI for the Bears, BAL for the Ravens. We don't have any warm beers I can chug? Oh, my goodness. Guess I'm chugging coldies today. CHI for the Bears, BAL for the Ravens. Matt Nagy says the Ravens. Bears lost big, LOL. Disagree. You weren't getting a first for Roquan. Chicago from Mavs Man. Christopher Johnson says Baltimore as I pour this ice-cold beer. Juan Ye says Chicago. Jaden Taylor says Baltimore. Chicago from Jaron. We got F, bad trade from Justin. George Culver says Baltimore. It could end up being a win-win. We'll see. I don't think you were getting a first, and if you weren't getting a first, a second, and a fifth, you know, that's probably about as good as you were going to do. Let's cheer against Baltimore the rest of the year. We want them to lose as many games as possible. Ancient Astronaut, cheers, my friend. He says, bruh. One-word reaction, guys. Give me your one-word reaction. Jeff Bartlett says, yikes. There's a one-word reaction. Marcus Sandoval says, think we can get him back in the offseason? I mean, hypothetically, yes, but once you make this move, there's no going back. I think bringing back Robert Quinn is actually more likely just because the rest of his contract, him in Philadelphia agreed to cut off the final 2 years, and he was someone who talked about he was tired of moving. His family could be staying in Chicago the rest of the season while he plays this year out in Philadelphia. I think that's more realistic. The Ravens don't make this move without the intentions of paying and keeping Roquan. At least you got to think that. So hypothetically, yes, but I would be surprised. I do not think that Roquan will be back here. Emiliano, a couple sips for you, my friend. Not great, not bad. Fair trade. Embrace the rebuild. Get higher in the draft. Develop young guys. Stock on picks. Don't spend stupidly in free agency like the Jags. Interested in what's next. I mean, you got $125 million in cap space. I will say this. We talked about David Montgomery on a video earlier today. Bring him back. $6 million a year for him. Bring him back. I think something that really stands out to me with these trades, they're going to shift and invest in offense. Now, you're going to have to invest in defense now. I mean, your front seven needs a lot of work. But I think they're going to build around Justin Fields. That's my prediction. Justin Holloman, cheers. Seems to me that a major factor in Pohl's style is no more prima donnas. Maybe. He seems like a straight shooter, does he not? He doesn't sugarcoat shit. I respect Poles, man. We'll see if it works out, but I respect the way he handles his business. Zachary Wilchinski says, this trade hurts. We better do great things in the draft coming up, or this is all for nothing. I want to believe in the process, but now we have to replace a linebacker on top of everything else. I mean, here's the deal. The Bears could go sign a couple decent linebackers in free agency, and yeah, it's not Roquan, but go sign a pretty good one for, $8 million a year. Go sign another Nick Morrow type as your number 2 linebacker, maybe a little bit better. And yeah, it's not Roquan, but if you get better on your defensive line, you don't have to have superstar linebackers. There's a reason not a lot of teams pay top-end dollars for off-ball linebackers. Would I have been okay with it? Probably, but at the same time, Roquan hasn't played quite as good in this 4-3 scheme at that will linebacker spot as he's played in the past in a 3-4. Maybe this scheme didn't maximize his abilities. It's possible. It's very, very possible. If you guys super chat and donate to the program, we'll be drinking some beers, taking some shots. We'll do it all. So hang with us here. Like the trade or hate it. Type L for like it, H for hate it. We'll take some more super chats. And then we're going to break this trade down in a little bit further detail here in a moment. Jesse likes it. Hydro hates it. Cordy hates it. 45% say yes. 55% no, by the way, on the poll. Same question as this. Yes or no. Like or hate. Same deal. Cody says hate. Broken hate, Donovan like, hate from Be Mindful, William likes it, Aaron likes it, still, Gotti hates it. Someone says, don't you dare say he is as good as Brian Urlacher. I don't know if you're talking to me or in the chat, but I've never once said Roquan is as good as Brian Urlacher. He's probably your best linebacker since Urlacher, him or Lance Briggs. I know Briggs and Urlacher overlapped quite a bit, but yeah, he's not Urlacher. He's not that good. He's good. He's not that good, though. Kellen DeVillon, we get a few more supers here, as he says. He wasn't going to re-sign with us. Now we get picks when... Yeah, I mean, you could have tagged and traded him in the offseason, so you had that possibility, but you may have gotten less value. So if you had made the determination that you were not going to pay him top dollar and he wasn't going to take less than what he wanted, then this is going to be the outcome. And, you know, if Roquan wanted to be in Chicago, he deserves blame in this outcome. He didn't have an agent. He tried to represent himself. That rarely works out well for athletes. You need a professional to represent you at the negotiating table. And he wanted, say what?
The Ravens, Lamar Jackson also doesn't have an agent, by the way.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson doesn't have an agent, by the way, in Baltimore, and he still hasn't gotten a deal. I don't think that's a coincidence. So, shout out producer Sam, who's with us today. Appreciate the super chat, Killen. We got Rockin' with Trey. Cheers. Guess we're going to be the new Chiefs, high-powered offense and BS defense with a few good players. Shake my head. This team could still be good on defense. Now, they're going to have to add players, but they got trucked with Roquan yesterday, right? I mean, they need help on the front. I think the secondary is actually in a pretty good spot. You need more pass rushers. You need a defensive tackle or two. And, yeah, you're going to have to get some linebacker help, but it is what it is, man. You can't be good at every single position. You know how you're good on both sides of the ball? You draft and you draft well. That's going to make or break polls. He's going to have to draft well. Cordy Mack, that trade sucks. I think Marlon Humphrey. Did Marlon Humphrey get traded? Or I thought he's been with Baltimore his whole career. I'm not sure. Were you trying to finish that sentence, Cordy? Should they go after Marlon Humphrey? I'm not sure what you're saying there. Timothy Smith, I know they plan on building around Fields, but we need to build a robust defense too. Yeah, you want to be good on both sides, but if you invest big money in the offense, you're going to suffer a bit on defense. That's how this works. Like, you can't spend major dollars on both sides. I will say this. It is not a coincidence that Chicago's first big free agent signing was Larry Ogunjobi. Now, the deal fell through, but they wanted that big-time impactful defensive tackle for a reason. This defense needs it. They don't have it. Justin Jones, nice player. He's not a stud, though. He's a good player. He's not a stud. OS with the $1, appreciate it. Lucas says, all right, I've cooled off. I don't hate it. Yeah, I mean, I think you're allowed to feel what you want as fans, guys. Like, I told you guys with Quinn last week, this stuff isn't easy. There's human consideration here. These guys are teammates. They build something together, and then to see them go sucks. But you got to think big picture. This year was always going to be about evaluating Justin Fields. The good news is the last month, which we talked about earlier, Justin Fields is playing like a pretty high-level starting quarterback. He's got a 98 QB rating in the last 4 games. That's the good news. Get him some players and see what can happen. Let's go. Luke says, who could you draft in linebacker in this upcoming draft? I'm going to do a deep dive into the draft over the next couple days. I mentioned earlier, I'm going to do a post-NFL trade deadline Bears mock draft because it is very possible, guys, when you look at this linebacker depth chart, that not a single one of these players is on your team next year. Outside of maybe Sanborn and Weatherford because they're undrafted free agent rookies and they have impact on special teams. But, yeah, I mean, the good news for these type of guys is you're going to get evaluated now to have a chance to, show the Bears that you can be something. But it is what it is. David, Jack Sanborn time. Hey, he's going to get some PT, that's for sure. Jaden with the 5. Cheers to you, my friend. I just feel now this prolongs the rebuild even more. We have the money. Why can't we just pay our young best defensive player? This hurts. They did try, guys. It sounds like they offered him about $90-95 million before training camp. He said no. He wanted more. When you're doing a rebuild like this, you can't get loose with your money, even when you have a lot of it. You've got to be willing to have a line, and the Bears drew that line, and it didn't work out. Welke with the 2. Bears need a new identity. Poles is trying. Yeah, they're shifting. You got to score points, man. You got to score points. Ken Pang, this is like when we traded Greg Olsen in his prime. Roquan is still going to have a good career while we're looking for his replacement. Yeah, I mean, look, this hurts the defense. There's no doubt. Roquan is a good player. He's going to be – that's a classic Baltimore player, right? Hard-nosed linebacker. I mean, they've always had those guys. So I wish him the best. I expect him to play well. For the Bears, they build for the future. Michael, do you have any other defensive players for trade? We joked in the not joke, we kind of discussed in the office earlier. Could Eddie Jackson get moved? Maybe. Would a team throw you a second or a third for him? 4 picks in 8 games? I'd like to keep Eddie Jackson, but you trade Roquan, anything's on the table. The only guys that there's no chance getting traded, Justin Fields, Darnell Mooney, Khalil Herbert, and that's about it. Maybe a couple of your young offensive linemen. It seems like everybody else is available. Jeff Bartlett, targets in free agency, Jenkins, Nelson, Davenport, Hargrave. Which Jenkins are you talking about? Elton Jenkins, yep. I don't think Quentin Nelson's a free agent. People keep mentioning that. I think he's under contract. Marcus Davenport's interesting. Hargrave's interesting. Yeah, we'll take a look at 2023 again for sure. Emiliano with the 5. Cheers to you. Was thinking Jackson would be next, but doesn't look like it. His value should be higher. Wonder what they could get for him. Not going to get a first for a safety, but the way he's playing this year, if I had an asking price, probably a second. He's great in turnovers, man. 4 picks. He's got, 1 or 2 forced fumbles. The Bears are getting a player, apparently.
The Bears are also getting linebacker A.J. Klein in the trade per Josina Anderson.
So the Bears are getting a linebacker back to help replace Roquan Smith. Let me look up A.J. Klein.
Used to play for the Saints. Hasn't done much of anything this season as far as I know.
I think that's just depth to help you get through this season at linebacker, right? I mean, that's kind of what this feels like. Is he the guy that signed like 2 weeks ago?
He signed to the Giants, remember?
He signed with the Giants practice squad, and then the Ravens poached him off the practice squad. This year he's played in 2 games and he has 5 tackles. But in his career, if you have a graphic, sync with Sam, that's at the end of the video, by the way, talking about Klein. He's got 454 tackles in his career, 15.5 sacks. So gives you some depth in the trade. We'll update the trade graphic here, but that's a throw-in to help you get through this season. So, you got that going. Long term, that doesn't mean much, but you do have 9 games left. Like, you got to get through this season. So, I'll take that. He'll probably start. I mean, seriously, we'll get the linebacker depth chart fixed too. You can throw him in there for Adams when we get to that, Sam, but since he's hurt, but he'll probably start. Yeah, that's fine. So there you go. 2nd, 5th, A.J. Klein for Roquan. Good timing because we're about to break this down. Can we get that in the copy for whoever's doing that? There you go. Sangray Kim with the 2-piece. No need for a crybaby as my leader. Great trade. Look, I'm not going to make fun of Roquan for getting emotional when Robert Quinn got traded. He was in the middle of a press conference, and his best friend, his big brother, got traded, and he was asked about it. That's difficult. So I'm not holding that against Roquan. I wish Roquan well. He moves on, and so do the Bears. Aiden Rogel, send Monty to the Bills for more picks. I mean, what would you guys take for Monty? Would you take a 4th? Would you take a third's very tempting, but are you getting a 3rd? I don't think you're getting a 3rd. And if you're not, if it's day 3 pick, I'm probably just keeping Montgomery, and I'm bringing him back to continue this 1-2 punch with Khalil Herbert because this Bears offense has found an identity. They lead the NFL in rushing, 3 straight 200-yard games. And, yeah, Khalil Herbert's been a better runner in this system, but David Montgomery still has a place here, in my opinion. I would probably keep Monty. I would probably keep him. Jaxo, Poles is turning the Bears into what the league is, you're muted still, which is QB and wide receiver or weapons. Yeah, you got to get better on offense. The last month has shown that. Your quarterback's playing a lot better, and guys aren't making enough plays. So, yeah, I agree with you, Jaxo. I agree. Doing some planning here on the fly. We'll break this down. Yeah, we'll go quicker on the small ones. Hydro Orlando says, how do you build the team without foundational players? I would argue you have foundational players. You've got Justin Fields. You have Khalil Herbert. You have Darnell Mooney. If you keep David Montgomery, he's a foundational player. Eddie Jackson, Jalen Johnson, Kyler Gordon, Jaquan Brisker. I think those are all foundational players. Yeah, they're not. Roquan might have been your best player, but was he playing like it this year? I mean, seriously, 8 games. I'd say he's played really good in 4 of them, average in 2, and bad in 2. Just how it is. Q Carrito, my opinion, we should have forced a first, even if it meant giving up Monty. Ravens need a running back. Also, who is the defensive leader now? Bojack, Jalen Johnson. Yeah, those are 2 guys. You know who's the leader on this defense? Justin Jones. He's a good leader. He's one of those guys. Flus has pointed him out. I think they'll be okay. This group will rally. They'll figure it out. Mavs men, and then I'm going to do my beer bong here in a sec. Poles hit on 5 picks last year. I trust him, Poles. Yeah, I mean, he had a good first draft, and that was without a first-round pick. The Velus Jones pick isn't looking good, but hopefully over time that changes. Appreciate all the donations. If you super chat, we'll get your questions on the show, your thoughts. Sealand sent in 100, so I got to do a beer bong, so cheers. Type chug in the chat. The first of maybe many today. Who knows? $100 super chats also get you into the $100 club here at Bears Now, which we will have updated by Sunday against the Miami Dolphins. So appreciate all the support. A few more super chats, and then we're going to break down this trade even further. We did hit this one. Let's go to Steven. My guy Steven, hey, what's up, man? Yesterday's poor performance sealed his fate. I did question that in our postgame show. I said, do you trade Roquan after this now? You're 3-5. He didn't play well. He's been up and down this year. He's your best asset left that you're willing to trade. I think there's some truth to that. Q Carrito, how in the F do we draft 8th overall and get a low-end second bat? Because he plays a position that franchises don't value as top 10 picks. Now, I would say he was worthy of that pick with how he played here, but that's the risk of taking a linebacker, a running back, even a safety sometimes high in the draft. You're not going to get a first bat. If you're willing to trade an off-ball linebacker, that probably means you're not getting a first. You know what I'm saying? Because if he's that special, you just pay him. And I like Roquan. I would have been okay if they paid him, but this is the result. He's been inconsistent in this scheme, and this new regime is putting their fingerprints on this team.
Very random fun fact for you, Harrison, but
Okay.
Bears legend Thomas Graham Jr. signed to the Browns active roster.
Browns active roster? Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Thomas Graham playing tonight. Go gas the Browns. Good luck to him. Brandon Majors, if Roquan is on the trade block, Jalen Johnson has to be too. What do you think we could get for him? See, I disagree. Cornerback is much more hard to find elite-level players, good players. You need Jalen Johnson. Unless you're getting a big-time number 1 receiver for him, I'm not trading Jalen Johnson. And I'm not saying he's a better football player than Roquan, but he plays a much more important position. Corner versus off-ball linebacker, give me the corner. Calmer, Storm, and I got to take a couple sips for the last 2. Do we draft O-line, receiver, or D-line first pick? I think all are in play. I think it's a big board decision. Those are the 3 positions of need, and whichever the best player is on the board, I could see this team trading down too. Let's say the Bears have the 12th pick. I'll just spitball. I could see them trading down to, the late teens, get an extra second, get an extra first, whatever, and just load up and just get, build this roster quick, quality player after quality player. Got to hit on those picks, but I could see Poles going that route. Cheers, everybody. Tyrone, the boys put 49 points with him in the game, no brainer. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, and he missed some critical tackles, guys. He has multiple times this year. He admitted that. He admitted missing the Jalen Reagor tackle against Minnesota. He admitted not being able to make that play on Tony Pollard yesterday. I like Roquan. I think he's a hell of a player, but he's had a handful of plays in more than one game this year where he hasn't played up to standard. That's on him. He's got to own that. Doesn't mean I would have just said, hey, you're done, we'll see you, but I don't blame the Bears here. I think they got good value. Travis with the 5, cheers. Joseph with the 5. Regarding Regarding the Greg Olsen comparison, I don't remember Olsen trashing the front office, crying over personnel moves. Hey, it's true. He called out Ryan Poles when he didn't get the deal he wanted. Oh, Geezer, offense is looking good in a tough way. Roquan's my favorite, but he was brokenhearted. Yeah, I think he was pissed off after not getting a new deal. He obviously was hurt by the Robert Quinn trade. These things happen, man. When a new regime comes in, these things happen. There are the trade details. 2nd, 5th, A.J. Klein for Roquan. Here's a 20, first shot of the day. Shout out the Hispanic Gamer. While I pour this, we'll get to the next super chat as well. Chris, how about a Monty to the Bills for a 4th and Singletary? That's interesting. That would actually be interesting. Monty's a better back than Singletary, but Herbert RB1, Singletary RB2, you got me thinking there. You got me thinking, I got to admit. Alex says, we now have 9 picks, time to build around Justin. We will outline those picks when we break down this trade further. PK, I make this trade 10 out of 10 times. Poles doesn't make this trade alone. Flus had to be on board. Trust the process. We wouldn't get a first rounder. I said that off the top. You weren't getting a first for Roquan. He's been too inconsistent this year. Tony Williams, cheers, guys. You can always tell who just doesn't understand football, LOL. Tell the guys when we start, by the way, so we can highlight this. The 5th was probably just an extra Poles pride, really. I just hadn't said anything to them. I was thinking 1 second. Yeah, to get a 2nd and an extra 5th, the 5th isn't like a ton extra, but it's not like the 5th round is the 7th round. I mean, you can find, quality backups. Sometimes, Darnell Mooney's a 5th round pick. Khalil Herbert's a 6th round pick. Like, you can find guys that can contribute later in the draft. So to get an extra pick, that's nice. That's, we'll take that. Alex, he says, do you think Khalil Herbert is a top 10 back in the NFL? He's playing like it this year. As a pure runner, honestly, he might be. Now, complete back, he still has work to do in the passing game, both as a pass protector and as a receiver. But as a pure runner of the football, Khalil Herbert is a really talented running back. I mean, he can go. He's averaging 6.2 yards per carry. He's good. Alex, I hate that Smith badmouths the McCaskies on his way out. I love my Bears. Good move, but the things this family does behind the scenes is bad. Oh, you hope that he does. Yeah, look, the McCaskies are flawed ownership. We know that. I think Roquan's just going to look at this as a reset opportunity, go make his money with the Ravens. I think this is a fairly clean break, to be honest. All right, this is why you subscribe to Chicago Bears Now, because, listen, when the Bears make a trade, we're going to go live for you guys, hit you with the video here on this channel. Yeah, we'll do that. YouTube.com/Bears Now. 2 trades already. We've been live for both of them. If they make another one later today or tomorrow, we'll be live for that as well. So don't miss any of our coverage here on Chicago Bears Now, as we're going to bring you multiple videos per day, a lot of days as well. So let's get to 55,000 subs. Do we have an updated number? We are at, give me a second, guys, 54,623 subs. We got 2,400 people watching live. I think we can get to 55,000 subs today. We'll get a number on screen later on if we can and try to get to that 55,000 number because, hey, we're publishing daily videos. Appreciate all of the support. All right, couple more supers. Then we're going to break down the trade even further, and we'll play a game as well, so stay tuned for that. $5, Dylan, are there any current playing linebackers worth trading a first for, if there are any? You could argue, who's the guy in San Francisco? Fred Warner, a healthy Darius, Shaquille Leonard now. Devin White's not playing like it this year. There's not many. You've got to be a special off-ball linebacker to get first-round pick value. So to get a 2nd and a 5th for Roquan, I think that's pretty good. Peschel again, Bears aside, do you think the Bulls should trade Zach LaVine? He's always hurt. We got Bulls question. Bulls now. I don't know, man. I like LaVine, but he is hurt a lot. He doesn't play defense. Bulls are in an interesting spot. Hispanic Gamer, another 20-piece. One more shot here. I hate the trade, but I understand. Take another shot. Yes, sir, Hispanic Gamer. I got you. Thank you, sir. Cheers. Joe Draper with the 5. Personally, didn't want to trade Roquan, but I get it. He isn't to build a team while isn't idea to build a team while QB on a rookie contract. Now a multi-year rebuild with holes we made. They have so much money that next year this team should be competitive. Maybe not Super Bowl ready, but I hear what you're saying. But is keeping and paying Roquan, Joe, going to make you a Super Bowl contender next year? You already had Roquan and you weren't there. Like, you had to fill these holes anyway. Yeah, now you have an extra one, but, I mean, I get what you're saying, but at the same time, you know, you got to think beyond Roquan Smith. W&J, the sports addict, get rid of Monty and get Kareem Hunt. I don't think so. Kareem Hunt's pushing 30 now. He's been around. He's been around. Jaxo with the 10. The national media was dogging Fields for jumping over Micah Parsons. Look, I don't care about that play, to be honest with you. Yeah, he should have touched the guy down, but that has no evaluation for me in terms of evaluating him as a quarterback. Jordan Smith, move that second for DJ Moore. I would, but Carolina's probably going to want a first-round pick. So now, how about this? You've got 2 seconds now. Would you trade a second, 2 seconds for DJ Moore? That's interesting. Something to consider. Actually, I initially didn't want a mailbag. Let's get one because I'm going to put one out tomorrow morning, I think. Get some trade questions in there. All right, we're caught up on Super Chats. Keep them flowing in, though. We're going to answer them all. I got to catch up on this Roquan Smith trade a little bit further here. Every $10 Super Chat we get from now until the end of the video breakdown, the advanced breakdown we're about to do of the Roquan Smith trade is a shot of Fireball. Usually it's $20. From now until then, every $10 Super Chat is going to be a shot of Fireball. Should we do $10 Super Chat or 10 total? Because we just got 2 $5 Super Chats.
I'm down to play 10 total.
10 total. So we're already at 1 shot thanks to Big Bucks and Jordan Smith. Lucas, we're at a shot and a half. So we'll catch up on those Super Chats after we break down this trade. Every $10 is going to be a shot. And we are going to have you guys covered with answering your questions and taking shots. We're doing it all here at Chicago Bears Now. So let's break down the Roquan trade in further detail. Here we go. It's going to be interesting these next couple of weeks, I'll tell you that. Today's Chicago Bears trade alert is presented by Manscaped. It is Halloween, and you don't want to be looking like a scarecrow if you get frisky tonight. Get 20% off plus free shipping for all of Manscaped's men's grooming products by using promo code BEARS20 at manscaped.com. That is manscaped.com, promo code BEARS20. Breaking news today is that Roquan Smith has been traded from the Chicago Bears to the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore getting a win-now piece as they try to make a run in the AFC. Ryan Poles continuing to shelve pieces out to build for the future. Here are the trade details. A 2023 second-round pick, a 2023 fifth-round pick. Baltimore threw linebacker A.J. Klein in the deal as kind of a, hey, here's a linebacker to help you guys get through the season type of move for Roquan Smith back to the Baltimore Ravens. Now, Jordan Schultz had this detail. He added, I'm told Bears GM Ryan Poles didn't want to risk Roquan Smith holding out, and Smith's youth was a real factor for Baltimore, who loves the 25-year-old linebacker. I think basically what Schultz is saying is the Bears probably would have tagged Roquan next year, but they were scared he would hold out, and they said, we'll trade you now for a second and a fifth. The Bears blog, who's got some connections in the organization, tweeted this out as we go to this next tweet here. One thing to remember, this is a collaboration at Hallis Hall. Ryan Poles isn't making this move unless Matt Eberflus is on board. From what I've been told, Flus unequivocally was on board, and that's what you like to see. Poles and Flus need to be working in collaboration and agreeing on these things. Now, Poles has final say on player personnel, but if that's true, that the head coach is okay with this, that he was on board, then you got to respect it because they are on the same page, and that is what you want. That has not always been the case here with the GM and a head coach being on the same page, but it certainly seems to be the case with this new regime led by Ryan Poles and head coach Matt Eberflus. Now, what is your one-word reaction to Roquan getting traded to the Ravens? Are you shocked? Are you surprised? Are you happy, sad, disappointed, frustrated, excited? Let me know. What is your one-word reaction to the Roquan Smith trade to the Baltimore Ravens? All right, you look at Roquan the player. I mean, obviously, look, let's just be real. This hurts your defense right now and probably for the next year or two because you're not going to replace Roquan. 83 tackles. He's been at he's still leading the league in tackles. Didn't know if that was the case, but my producer just said it was. 2.5 sacks, 2 picks. He's a leader, all that stuff. But what's also fair, he's been an inconsistent guy this year. Now, PFF isn't everything, and they've never liked Roquan for whatever reason, so take this with a grain of salt, but he hasn't graded out well for them this year. I think of the 8 games Roquan has played this year for the Bears, in a new system, by the way, where Flus and Alan Williams and Ryan Poles were evaluating him in this 4-3, playing that will linebacker spot. In 8 games, I would say he's had 2 really bad games. Dallas and Green Bay did not play well in those games. 2 to 3 average games. San Francisco week 1, I thought he was a little rusty after skipping camp. He didn't play great against New York. The eye discipline wasn't there. And then he had 3 or 4 really good games. But when you want to reset the market, when you want to be the highest paid at your position, you're due maybe 1 bad game a season. At worst, you got to play very good every game, and on most Sundays, you got to be the best player on the field. He was the best player for the Bears, probably 3 out of 8 games for that defense this year, maybe 4. That's not good enough if you want to make $20 million per year. He was bad against Dallas. He was bad against the Packers. He needed to be better. The Bears tried to pay him in training camp. He said, no, I want more money. I'm betting on myself. He didn't play good enough, so the Bears traded him. 2nd, 5th, you get a throw in an A.J. Klein. You aren't going to get a first for him, not with the way he's been playing. I think the value is pretty good for Chicago. Now, who won the trade? Type CHI for the Bears, type BAL for the Baltimore Ravens. Let me know down in the comment section below who won this Roquan Smith trade. Get your votes in right now when it comes to it, because it could end up being a win-win, but I can't blame the Bears here. Shout out to Manscaped for sponsoring today's show. The Performance Package is a really good deal. It's the full package, whereas Roquan kind of is too, but hasn't been this year. You get the Lawnmower 4.0, going to keep your family jewels nice and trim, nice and shaved. Also get the Weed Whacker. It's going to get those nose hairs, those ears hairs trimmed down. You'll be good. You get comfortable boxers, ball toner, ball deodorant, and you get this full thing for $95.99 with promo code BEARS20. And here's what's cool. That's already 20% off with promo code BEARS20. But if you buy all these items separately, I think it's like $150. So, I mean, you're really getting it for like 40% off by using the promo code and buying it in one bundle. Go to the manscaped.com, use promo code BEARS20, get the Performance Package, and, hey, stay nice and groomed this holiday season. Halloween is here. Don't be spooky with your girl tonight. Keep it nice and trimmed with Manscaped. All right. In the short term, I mean, let's be honest. This defense just got trucked by Dallas with Roquan. There could be some bad performances the rest of the way. I mean, this front seven's rough. Like, linebacker. I mean, Nick Morrow's your best linebacker. That ain't good. Matt Adams is hurt. Joe Thomas is a practice squad level player. You get A.J. Klein. We'll see if he works his way into the mix. I'm intrigued to see more Jack Sanborn and Sterling Weatherford to see if the young guys can contribute. But, yeah, I mean, for this year, the linebacker core takes a huge hit. I mean, there's no doubt about it when it comes to the Chicago Bears defensively. But, again, this is a trade for beyond this year. They were not going to pay him top dollar. Roquan in the front office clearly were butting heads for the last 3 or 4 months, so they made the move. They pulled the trigger. You got to respect Ryan Poles. He's very convicted in what he is doing. Now, we should update you guys on the draft compensation, and then I'll give you a good reason to subscribe in a minute. First round pick, 2 second-round picks, third, 2 fourths, 2 fifths, and a 7th right now. You got 9 picks for 2023 to work with. The Bears had, 5 last year that they turned into 10 or 11, wheeling and dealing on day 3 last year. If Ryan Poles can hit on these picks, especially these premium picks, you can fast-track a rebuild pretty effectively, especially if you sign the right players in free agency next year. So it's an exciting time. Oh, and by the way, you've got enough ammunition to make an offseason trade too if you want to add talent offensively. So a lot of bullets in the chamber for Ryan Poles. Now, you should subscribe to the channel because when the Bears make moves, we're going to break it down with a video closing in on 55,000 subs. Help us get there. Plus, I'm going to do a post-NFL trade deadline Bears mock draft, full 7-round mock draft later this week. Subscribe turn on your notifications. We're going to have you covered with that 7-round mock and everything else that is surrounding this football team. So don't go anywhere. Lots to still stay tuned with over the rest of the season. Even if the Bears have shown that they are sellers, still exciting times with Justin Fields making progress. So you revisit the trade here. 2 picks, A.J. Klein again. That's really just about helping you get through this season. Klein at linebacker, he's a veteran. He's had some good years in the past, but he's kind of just a journeyman. The Giants signed him to their practice squad. Then the Ravens poached him to their active roster, and now they throw him back to Chicago in this trade. But just final thoughts here of just kind of big picture, Roquan. I mean, look, Robert Quinn gets dealt last week. That should have been a signal that this was possible. The way the Bears defense played yesterday and give it up 49 points and Roquan not playing well, this felt at least possible, didn't it? Like, if they won yesterday, you wonder if this move happens, but that was kind of a wow. That was alarming, and, Roquan's a great player, but we're still giving up 50. Like, he's not going to be the difference in, being a big-time team right now. So if we can get big-time assets for him, which 2nd and a 5th, that's decent. I like the 2nd. I like the throw in a 5th as well. Then this was possible, and that is why this move has been made. And I get it for Baltimore, too. They're trying to go, make moves in the AFC, make a run. They always love their big-time linebackers, and now they got another one in Roquan Smith. So it'll be interesting to see, how all these trades play out over time. But the first one, we know what the Bears got back in the Khalil Mack trade. They got Jaquan Brisker, who's been a damn good player as a rookie. If Poles can connect on these picks, that 2nd round pick especially. How about this? You got a 2nd, a 4th, and a 5th for Quinn and Roquan. If you can hit on the 2nd and hit on 1 of 2 of the 4th and the 5th, get a quality player, I'd say the trades were worth it. Time will tell. We'll see what happens, but he had a good first draft. He's got to do it again. That's what it's going to come down to. So what do you guys think? Roquan to Baltimore, do you like the trade or do you hate it? Type L for like it, type H for hate it. I think overall I understand it. So maybe type U for understand it. Let me know how you guys feel on this one down in the comments. Get some shout outs here. And I think I'm looking at the supers here. 15, 20, 25. I'm not even updated here. It's
I can count it out for you. I know where we stopped was Jordan Smith moved that 2nd for DJ Moore. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 40, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90. That is 18 shots.
9 shots. $10 per shot.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because we were comboing all the 5s.
9 shots, so that's
Imagine
where we're at.
It was 18 shots.
9 shots. Sammy, I think you're going to have to take some of these for me.
Can I get a shot glass?
I got you.
Oh,
I'll pour you up. Or I'll hand you the bottle in a second. I'll take 5, and then Sam's going to take 4. You want to give me some shout-outs while I'm taking these down?
Yeah, one sec. Let's just go in there. Like or hate, type L for like. H for hate. I see Nathan in there saying
2.
like. Travis says he hates it. John likes it. Liz likes it. Kent likes it. Rainbow River Facts is typing U. Not an option. Liz likes the trade. Batman likes the trade. Now they're coming in. Mary likes the trade. Jesse, L. Deadpool, L. I see H's from Matthew and Eamon. Let's see. Mary again. H. Meng typing H. Mr. Xavier typing L. DJ likes it. Marty K likes it. Lucas likes it. Dennis likes it. Logan likes it. Jay likes it.
Taking my 5. I can catch up on the shout-outs. Yes. Sam will hop on screen in a minute. We got Steven likes it. Dylan hates it. Lucas likes it. Leon likes it. Kind of like it from Sorry for Eating Ya Burger. Hate from Escalade. Yeah, I mean, it's conflicting. I get it. I definitely get it. I can hit some of these super chats if you're going. Unapologetic Truth says W. I don't know what W means. Maybe when. Get a few more here. Kendrick says he hates it. Unapologetic Truth in there as well. All right, we'll catch up on these supers now. Then Sam's going to take some shots for you guys. I took 5. He's going to take 4. What do you think will happen when the Queen VM moves on to glory? You mean Virginia McCaskey? I mean, there's a lot of theories out there. Number one, I don't like speculating on stuff like that because, number one, no one is rooting for Virginia McCaskey's health to decline. I mean, there's been reports out there. I mean, she's 98. She's obviously not going to live forever. I mean, would they sell the team? I don't think they'd sell. I mean, the value's only going to go up. I think they will move to Arlington Heights, be there for at least 5 years, 10 years, then maybe the family sells after that. Now, George is already in his 70s, so someone may have to take over for him at some point before they sell, but I do think they're at least going to see this Arlington Heights move through before they determine on, when they're going to sell or something like that. Big bucks, no whammies. Appreciate that. Jordan Smith with a super Monty and Bojack to the Bills for their first. I mean, if you could get a first, I mean, that'd be hard to turn down. But those are two of your top 6 or 7 players right now. That'd be tough to trade 2 more of these type of guys. But Ryan Poles is willing to do it, man. He's shown us that. He has absolutely shown us that. Appreciate the question. Lucas Praying, from what I've heard from others, off-ball linebackers are considered, and by the way, let's just go BetUS for the Q&A. Off-ball linebackers are considered a luxury. Need to get your core in place before you start paying for luxury. Yeah, look, if you have really good off-ball linebackers, if you have a superstar, they can do a lot for a defense, and Roquan's close to that level. He's very good. But he wasn't playing as well this year. I don't know if he was playing out of position. I would have liked to see what he would have done at middle linebacker compared to weak side, but they made the determination that he was not a part of the future. Here come the shots from Sam. That's filled to the brim. I mean,
I can barely move right now. This one is full.
That is full to the brim. No cheating there. No cheap shots. No cheap shots. Packers know about cheap shots.
What about Patty?
Patty Jackson. Let's go. Watch Roquan be the next Ray Lewis. Roquan's a great player. I expect him to be a really good player in Baltimore. That doesn't mean you shouldn't consider trading him, though. Cheers, Patty. But, yeah, it's not like they traded a garbage player. Roquan's good, man. Sorry for eating your burger. Hypo, what if the Bears got a first for Quan, but it was from Green Bay? Happy Halloween in my Thriller narrator voice. That's tough, man. I mean, I'd still probably take the first, but I'd hate to face Roquan twice a year for the next 5-6 years. But yeah, hypotheticals are hypotheticals for a reason. If they happen, it would be interesting, but did not happen. He's going to the Ravens for a 2nd and 5th. I'll be honest, I don't think they would have traded him to Green Bay regardless. But we'll never know. Keem 78. I like Roquan, good, but not elite. 2 holdouts, stats, and inconsistent play. He does not reckon impact games consistently like Ray Lewis, Brian Urlacher. Yeah, this year I've outlined it. I thought he played really well in about 3 or 4 games. I thought he played average in a couple, and I thought he played bad in 2. That's not pay me $20 million per year level. It's not. It's inconsistent this year. Just a fact. You can't argue with what his level of play. Yeah, he leads the NFL in tackles, but that doesn't mean he's playing at a superstar level. Mark Thomas with the 10, appreciate it. Bearing down in West Virginia. Harrison have super chats. Effer left you totally hammered. I mean, yes. If you haven't tuned into the show a lot, it's happened multiple times. But if you want it to happen again, this is what it's going to take. $5, we're cheersing you. $20, shot a fireball. $100, we got the Merbonga, the beer bong. Sealand already sent one in earlier. Plus $100 super chat gets you into the $100 club season-long tally that we are keeping up with all season long. Jeremy Pinter, here's cheers to you. Don't hate this trade or any other, to be honest. Monty should be next. The way Herbert's carrying the ball, he's just not worth paying. See, here's the problem, though, Jeremy. And I get what you're saying. I do think Herbert is this team's best runner right now. But I think the way this team is playing football offensively, you need 2 running backs you can rely on. David Montgomery is a damn good running back. You trade Khalil Herbert, it's not like, David Montgomery, it's not like you're going to give Khalil Herbert 30 carries a game. Like, with how much this team's running the football, you got to find carries for someone else. You comfortable giving Treston Ebner 12 to 15 carries a game? I don't think he's there right now. I would keep Monty, and I would try to keep him on a team-friendly deal. $5 to $6 million per year. That's not going to kill your cap. 2 years, $12 million. Who says no? I would be intrigued with keeping David Montgomery at that price tag. Brandon Majors, which wide receiver one would you trade for? Which would be available in free agency next year? Also, Chug, I think Ravens won the trade but can't blame after last game. Time will tell who won the trade. I think it's a pretty even trade on the outset. There's not a ton of crazy receivers available in free agency next year, but there's guys like Juju Smith-Schuster, Odell Beckham, obviously, and McCole Hardman. There's a few others that I'm blanking on. I did a video, 2023 free agent targets. If you want to go check that out, subscribe and go give it a look. But there's some guys. I think the draft. Sign a number 2, number 3 type of receiver in free agency. Draft a big time one in the NFL draft. Pair those two with Darnell Mooney. You've got your top 3 guys. Daily basis, all my favorite guys are leaving, and I'm sad, but we have 11 draft picks for Poles staying true to his word, and we're witnessing an overhaul. I think it's 9 draft picks right now, but they do have a lot. And we'll see if they get more based on the comp pick formula, but probably not with all the cap space. We'll just have to wait and see. Here are the picks the Bears have so far. Tony Williams, hey, if the Bears end up tanking and have the number 3 pick, would you grab Will Anderson, or is offense that much of a priority? If Will Anderson's on the board, it's something you got to consider. It is something you got to consider. Producer Sam's got a quick note for us.
Pretty quick, minor note, not as relevant because we already knew this a little bit. Roquan Smith was owed $5.408 million for the rest of the season. As part of today's trade agreement between Chicago and Baltimore, the Bears are paying Smith $4.833 million, while the Ravens are paying $575,000 for the rest of the season per sources, per Adam Schefter.
It's similar to the Quinn move. The Bears are paying most of the rest of the salary for this year, and then he's Baltimore's problem moving forward. So that's not surprising. The Bears don't need to create cap space for 2022, so they're fine.
Of just freeing up money in general.
Yeah, look, it doesn't free up more cap space long term in this case because he's not under contract beyond this year, but if you were going to pay him $18 to $20 million, your cap goes from 125 to 105 like that. So they decided they didn't want to do that. So they're going to have money to spend elsewhere. Tyrone with the 5. Don't we get 2 third-round picks for Poles in the Ian hire? I need to double-check that. I know there's minority hire comp picks involved in all of this. I need to look into that. I know the Chiefs get a third because someone hired Ryan Poles from Kansas City, that being the Bears. I'm not sure if the team that makes the hire gets the comp picks. I need to look into that. They might. I need to look into it, though. Came with the 5. He says, got to be objective. This is the last one from the deal for you guys, by the way. Got to be objective. Halfway through the season, Roquan has not shown consistent progress and game impact. Fields has. The writing's on the wall. It's a good point. Fields is getting better. Roquan's kind of been this. And I think Roquan's a great player. He's obviously a more advanced player than Fields at this point is. But this year was all about Justin Fields. It's all about Justin Fields. Getting him better, getting him in position to take off in 2023. And I think that he's on his way to doing that. I do. Will the Bears make another trade? Y for yes and for no. And then you want to hop into a mailbag, take some questions, or we can catch up on some and then hit some more. Y for yes and for no. We'll get some shout-outs here. Marty K says yes. Don Payne says yes. Wiley says yes. For the mailbag, let's do a Coldy sub since it'll go out tomorrow morning. Nathan, yes. Kit, yes. Unapologetic Truth says yes. Man, we suck from Milwaukee, Jeff. Got to be patient here. I think there's some good signs for the future. Unapologetic Truth, Wiley Brown. SGT says yes. Type yes in the chat if you think the Bears will make another trade. I think it's possible. Hit that sub button as well. We're 364 subs away from 55,000. We're about to get to your questions. Hashtag Bears or Super Chat. If you want to be a part of our shows every single day, subscribe, turn on notifications. We'll be live again tomorrow for trade deadline coverage and anything else that could happen. So go ahead and join us, and we will have you guys covered. Jaden Ortiz, wide receiver free agents suck next year, though. Trade for any? Yeah, look, you get more draft picks. That makes trading more of a possibility. You have cap space, you can trade for players. You can absorb their contracts. So yeah, trading for a receiver could definitely happen in the offseason. It could happen in the next 24 hours, technically, 23 hours. It's almost an hour past what the deadline will be tomorrow. But, yeah, I mean, I think Ryan Poles has proven to be an active GM, right? I mean, he's made 3 trades in 7 months, right? He traded Khalil Mack, he traded Quinn, he traded Roquan. I mean, he's not afraid to make moves. He cut some notable players like Tariq Cohen, Danny Trevathan. I mean, he's been very active since he's taken this job on the trade and cut market. Not super active in free agency, but we all know why that was the case. Joe O'Donnell. I wish this was, where's Joel O'Connell? Didn't we get a 6th in the Mac trade? Where's that? That got handled on draft day last year. I can't remember the details, but they traded again with the Chargers. I think the Bears traded that 6th for 2 7ths, and they drafted, I think, Trenton Gill and one other player. So that trade was handled last year during the draft. So that trade's caught up. Bear Forever 14. Okay, so I'm prepared to lose some more games, but I have one request. Can we still sweep the Lions, please? I think the Bears are better than the Lions. I do. Cheers to you. At worst, the Bears should split with the Lions. But, yeah, I mean, the defense is going to take a hit. There's no doubt. There's no doubt about it. Oh, Geezer, another cheers. Draft shows are going to be good. Hope you can do your homework between diaper duty. Yeah, for real. Baby's coming mid-October, so mid-April, sorry. Mid-April.
I was going to say, we just passed mid-October.
No, we'll have plenty of draft content. Starting this week, I'm going to do a post-trade deadline mock draft, so be on the lookout for that. Grizzly Brew, draft a game changer on defense early and use seconds to trade up and get Quentin Johnson. Go Frogs, he's a beast. I love Roquan, but that is how you turn things around quickly. Yeah, I mean, look, like, I expect the Bears to invest in high-level positions. You know, pass rusher, defensive tackle, offensive line, wide receiver. I mean, that's where they got to build this team. Build weapons around Fields on the O-line and receiver. Get some pass rushers. Get decent at linebacker. They don't have to overspend there and go from there. I think that's how they're going to do this thing. If you missed it, if you're just joining us, the Bears have traded Roquan Smith to the Baltimore Ravens for a 2nd-round pick and a 5th-round pick. A.J. Klein comes over in the deal. That helps you get through this season at linebacker. So that is the trade. So now with Robert Quinn being gone, Roquan being gone, send me your questions and preferably your trade questions or draft. Whatever, 2023 free agency. Any questions, we'll answer them. If you super chat, those take priority. Hashtag Bears as well. We know everybody can't donate, so if you use hashtag Bears, we'll get those questions on the show as well. We're going to answer some questions here for the next 12, 15 minutes, whatever the case may be. We're $24 away from $500 in super chats, so if we cross 500, that'd be dope. I'll take a bonus shot if that happens. So appreciate all the support. Hashtag Bears, super chat. Get your questions on the show, and let's go. Before we dive into the Chicago Bears mailbag, make sure you guys subscribe to us here at Bears Now by Chat Sports. We're getting you guys the latest Bears news, rumors, trades. Both Robert Quinn and Roquan Smith have been traded. We go live every Tuesday, live every game day, live for breaking news, and we do more videos as well. We're going to have a post-NFL trade deadline mailbag or mock draft, so be on the lookout for that. Link is below. Hit the sub button. Let's get to 55,000 subs as soon as possible. You are watching Bears Now, and I am Harrison Graham. Use hashtag Bears or Super Chat, and we will answer as many questions as we possibly can here on Bears Now. Tumblr Doge with the 5. If we were a player or two away, I would re-sign Roquan. It's just tough at our given rebuilding phase with paying a less valuable position $20 million. Yeah, I think I'm with you. You're not one or two pieces away. So paying an off-ball linebacker $20 million kind of makes it tough. So you trade him for a 2nd and a 5th, and that's kind of where you're at right now. Got a super chat coming in from Diab Muhammad. And yeah, I see it, Joel O'Connell. Welcome back. Some of you so-called Bears fans really have to stop being delusional. Y'all really have to stop living in the Madden trade world. Listen, yeah, like you weren't going to get a 1st for Roquan. He was too inconsistent this year. I think this is a decent haul. You get a 2nd, you get a 5th, A.J. Klein helps you get through this season. Roquan goes to Baltimore. It is what it is, man. They tried to get a deal done with him before and during training camp. He said no. The report was $90 to $95 million with some team protections. It's not a bad deal for him. I'll be curious to see what Baltimore or another team gives him on a new deal. Could be a win-win. Good for Roquan, good for the Bears. They got more assets moving forward. The Pikey Dyke. Don't forget, you don't just get draft capital. Money saved on paying Roquan can be used in free agency. Absolutely. Build on defense like Daron Payne. Yeah, sign Daron Payne. I would love to get Daron Payne. You throw him on this defensive line, you get another edge rusher. You could be cooking. I like some of the young pieces and Dominic Robinson, Travis Gibson, but you need a stud defensive tackle. You put Payne next to Justin Jones, who's got one more year on his contract. It's a nice 1-2 punch on the interior, but Justin Jones being your top guy, not super ideal. Adam Fair, Hungarian cashier. Ravens will be a lot better, but it's a win-win trade. Sanborn season, let's go. That would be mad if he would turn out to be a starter. Yeah, I mean, that'd be awesome if Jack Sanborn took advantage of this opportunity with the playing time. I mean, A.J. Klein, we'll see if he plays at all. Sterling Weatherford, another young guy. I wonder if he'll get some opportunities. He's been a great special teamer. But, yeah, I mean, your linebacker core on paper obviously is not very good. All right, so the Bears are 3-5. They've traded Robert Quinn and Roquan Smith. How many games will the Bears win this season? 6, 7? Could they get 8? I mean, if the offense keeps playing like this, they're going to beat some teams. They're going to be able to score. They've scored 33 and 29 on 2 top 10 defenses against the Patriots and Cowboys the last 2 weeks. Let me know. How many wins for the Bears this year? Wasim says yes, and since the Bears are in full rebuild, they should go through the draft. That's what Ryan Poles told us from day one. He said he believes on building a roster through the draft. I think that's what he plans on doing. Sure, with that much cap space, trades and free agency are going to have an impact for sure. There's no doubt about it. But he is going to build the core of this roster through the draft. That's what I believe. Jaxo, I think we'll be second in the division. Very possible. Packers look like shit. Even after trading Roquan and Quinn, it's not impossible to beat Green Bay later in the season, beat them in the division. Minnesota's going to win the North. They're already 3.5 games up, so yeah, I think second in the division would be a great result for this team. Joel O'Connell is back. Joel O'Connell, where have you been, my friend? I was about to check on you on Instagram. I was a little worried. It's been a while. Ask and you shall receive, HG. I'm listening in today. Love to Roquan. We will miss him, but Poles and Flus are building a dynasty for the future. The real OG Bear fans understand this trade. Bear down, hashtag FGB. Give me an FGB in the comments for Joel O'Connell. Welcome back, my friend. That's another tally in the $100 Super Chat Club. You're a real one. Shout out to you. Glad to see you're doing well. Love the YouTube profile pic, by the way. That's good stuff. Shout out to Joel O'Connell. Get the FGBs going. Rocking with Trey next up. 2nd and a 4th for DJ Moore. I would do it in a heartbeat. Don't think the Panthers will take less than a 1st. If you could get them for not giving away your 1st, I'm in. But I just don't see it. I think Carolina is going to want a 1st-round pick. But if they do it, oh, baby. Fields, Mooney, Moore. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Geezer, think Green Bay trying to get our draft spot because they suck? Yeah, I mean, maybe. Maybe, Geezer. We'll see. Tyler Walker with the super chat. Appreciate all the supers today, guys. Incredible. Do you think there could be an office of trade before the deadline? What do you mean an office of trade? I need more context. Producer Sam will keep an eye on the chat, Tyler. Like, are they going to trade more? Like, an office of trade? I don't know what that means. I need more context, Tyler. I don't know what that means. If I think they will – do I think they're going to sell more? Potentially. You've just sold 2 of your bigger assets in Robert Quinn and Roquan Smith. I'm not sure what's going to happen the rest of the way. It's very possible the Bears are done. Maybe they buy small, like day 3 pick for a receiver like a Denzel Mims. I'm not sure. But I'm not sure what else could happen. I wish I had more context, Tyler. I'm not sure what you meant by that at the end of the day. Did you mean office? An offensive trade. Yeah, so what I just said, I don't think they're not going to – I just don't see a DJ Moore. I don't think they want to give up that much. But Elijah Moore, if the Jets say, you know what, screw this. Denzel Mims. Claypool, you got 2 seconds now. Maybe give up a second for him? Possibly. Will the Bears make another trade? What do you guys think? Buy or sell? Y for yes, in for no. Will the Bears make another trade? Get your votes in down in the comments. BetUS, if you want to trade your money for more money, BetUS is the place to do it at chatsports.com/Bears. Make your account today, and then plug in the promo code BEARDOWN. That is Bear Down. That'll get you a 125% deposit bonus. You can bet on, Week 9 games. You can bet on the World Series, NBA, college football, of course, NFL games as well. Chatsports.com/Bears. Go put your money where your mouth is with BetUS. Canyon Cooper, next offseason will be the best in Bears history. I mean, a lot of expectations, right? $125 million. You got all this draft capital. You can make moves. You got an ascending quarterback. I mean, the hype in the offseason and heading into 2023 is going to be real. We'll see if the Bears can live up to it. And Canyon, I owe you a shot for that super chat. If you're watching live, I'll take it here in a little bit. Appreciate all the questions. Hashtag Bears or Super Chat to get your questions on the show. From Keem, trade Velus Jones for Elijah Moore straight up. I think the Jets say no. Or get a good wide receiver coach to build his confidence. The raw potential is there, but he's also a 25-year-old rookie. I mean, I think that's kind of the troubling part, right? It's like, yes, he's a rookie, but he is 25. You were hoping some of these mistakes may not compound on one another because he is an older player as a rookie. He's got good speed. Got to catch the ball, though. I mean, the only thing he does really well right now is the jet sweep, which is an effective play. He's got real speed on the perimeter, but when he runs a go ball and burns the corner and drops the ball, you just can't have it. You can't have him dropping punts. That's why he's been taking off punt return duty. So he's got to be more consistent. He's got to make some plays. Rob Chamberlain, UK Bears fan, what's up, man? Not Bears related, but do you think London will get an NFL franchise? If so, when? Roger Goodell made a comment maybe a month or two ago saying he could see it. He could even see long-term like a division in London where NFL expands to 36 teams and there's 4 teams in England or in London. That would be crazy. I think we're a far way away from that. I do think there's a chance a team gets out there, though. I do wonder if you would have to do 2, though, just to help even things out. Get 2 teams in London. You go from 32 to 34. Be interesting. Appreciate the question, though. Appreciate all the questions so far today. If you super chat, we'll get to you first. If not, use hashtag Bears. Mr. Inglewood, what can we get for Eddie Jackson? I don't know. I mean, a third? Are you getting a second? He's played like that this year, but the last 2 years he wasn't great. I would keep Eddie Jackson. He's still young enough. 4 picks in 8 games. I think he can be here while this team starts to turn it around. But if I'm guessing, I would guess maybe a second or a third. That would be my guess. Tyler Walker, apologize. Yes, offensive. Yeah, we addressed that. Thank you, Tyler. Appreciate the super chats. The Prodigy, do you see any stud wide receivers hitting free agency next year? I've seen the potential list, and to be honest, I'm not that excited by the name. Yeah, I mean, there's not crazy big names. Juju, McCole Hardman, OBJ. There's some like decent tier 2, tier 3 level receivers. Draft, trade market. That if you want like a big time guy, it's going to have to be a trade or in the draft. So there you go. Nate the Great with the $1. Appreciate the super chat, my friend. All super chats get on the show, so we certainly appreciate all the support from everyone here at Bears Now. Hashtag Bears from G-Phil. Do you think David Montgomery will be traded? I don't think he will. I wouldn't rule it out. I'll go one smoking J. I think there's some chance, a small chance, but a chance. You got to give it a chance considering the Bears have already traded away 2 pieces, but I think they'd be reluctant to trading an offensive piece right now with the offense starting to turn a corner. Ramon Vasquez, do you think Fields could be traded? No chance. I mean, guys, the last month, he's playing really well. QB rating of 97.6 over the last 4 starts. They're building around him offensively. He's not going anywhere. He's going to be the guy here. Do you believe in Justin Fields? Type B for believe, D for don't. I do. I have the whole time. I've seen the raw talent. You're seeing the consistency come together. Still a smallish sample size, but he's put together a good month of football. He really has. hopefully the next 9 games are pretty consistent as well. I don't think he'll play 9 great games, but if he plays 6 or 7 here, then that would be pretty solid. Eamon Elias, now that Roquan is gone, what do you think of getting Justin Flo in the second? Oregon linebacker. Okay. That shows I got to do my homework. I haven't watched much Justin Flo. I know Oregon's good this year. That defense has been balling, but yeah, possibly, Eamon, possibly. Sir Dobbs, Marcus Davenport, and Orlando Brown in free agency next year. Maybe. Orlando Brown's been a little inconsistent. I think the Chiefs are going to keep him, though. Marcus Davenport, that's a guy I could see getting in the mix here. He was good last year, not so much this year, but he's a talented young pass rusher, so maybe. Super chat. If you super chat, you jump the line. Aaron Thompson, I agree that Fields is improving, but I'm extremely worried about the O-line. He's taking way too many hits and sacks. Yeah, I mean, look, he's taking a lot of hits this year, but he's tough, he's big, he's willing to make plays with his legs. He's got to limit those hits. I get that. The O-line's got to play better. I thought before the fourth quarter, the O-line actually did a decent job holding up against Dallas, but then the Cowboys kind of started to tee off in that fourth, and he took a few hits. Mr. Inglewood, trivia, when was the last time the Bears got more in return for one of their players over what they originally spent? Always giving assets away. Look, if you're trading players, it's rare that you're going to get more than what you paid for initially. But Mr. Inglewood, if you traded Darnell Mooney, you'd get more than a fifth. Are you saying you want to trade Darnell Mooney? No, of course not. This is just how it goes. I mean, that's how it is. I don't know the answer to that question off the top of my head, but I'll be reading the chat if you got the answer for me. David says Velus Jones is a halfback. He is kind of built like a running back. I'd be willing to line him up in the backfield some, kind of like Tariq Cohen. I don't know if I'd give him just straight handoffs, but run some routes out of there, maybe run some read option with him. Could be interesting. Use his speed some more. We'll see. If Montgomery did get traded, I could see the Bears doing some of that. Amos Goldberg, but now we need to draft a linebacker. What's the point? Roquan is only 25. The point is you can draft a linebacker in like the 3rd or 4th round versus paying $20 million per year for Roquan. You're not going to replace Roquan with one player, but you can use that $20 million and potentially draft 2, 3, 4, 5 starters. Get pay in free agency or in the draft. So, that's the route the Bears chose to go. The Chiefs didn't want to trade Tyreek, or they didn't want to pay Tyreek Hill $30 million. So what'd they do? They signed Marquez Valdes-Scantling. They signed Juju Smith-Schuster. They drafted Sky Moore, and now they picked up Kadarius Toney. I think the Chiefs are doing okay without Tyreek Hill. Funk Gumbo, do you think Poles uses these picks to acquire more? What is your over-under on total rookies drafted this spring? 9 picks right now. I will go over. I will say at least 10 players get drafted because Poles, we saw last year on day 3, was trading back, wheeling and dealing. Even if they use those picks to trade for players, I still think he'll wheel and deal on day 3. Lucas Ewing, what is your thought on taking Michael Mayer out of Notre Dame if he drops to the 2nd round? Good player, better prospect than Cole Kmet was coming out. Kmet's starting to play a little bit better, but tight end could be like an underrated position to look at this offseason. I think, Kmet's got one more year in his rookie deal, but you probably need another player there, so keep an eye on that spot as well. Appreciate all the questions. Just got word from the bosses that we got to turn sub-only chat on, subscriber-only chat. We're trying to get to 55,000 subscribers here on the channel. We're at 54,638. If you love the Bears, if you want daily videos, Bears news, rumors, trade buzz, draft coverage, mock drafts, live shows like this when moves get made, hit that sub button. And if you want a shout out, type FGB and stay tuned. We're about to reveal something. What is this for, Jeremy? Just happy Halloween? It's Monday.
I'm trying to make Tom's dreams come true.
Oh, okay. Let me get some FGB shout outs and then we're going to bring Jeremy on the show. Full screen here. I don't know what that means. I'm very confused.
No, I'm saying he snuck the shoulder in just a little bit there.
Okay.
Just a little teaser for the people.
Jay says FGB from Travis, Patrick.
$100 I do a beer bong right now.
Marvin Harrison Jr. is a Bear. Not this year. He's not draft eligible. Okay. All right. So Jeremy Chugs Welcome, Jeremy Chugs. Type Chugs in the chat. Happy Halloween, Jeremy. What is this influenced by?
Little Bo Peep.
Little Bo Peep. Okay.
I got a super chat from Cowboys.
Okay. Jeremy Chugs, rocking the dress, said he will do. What'd you say you would do?
I'll do a truly bong right now for 100.
For a $100 super chat, he will do a truly beer bong. He'll wash this out, do it, or he'll go get one of the other beer bongs. Who doesn't want to witness that? Who doesn't want to witness that? I'll do one with him. We will race. If we get a $100 super chat, we are doing a beer bong, Jeremy Chugs and I. Look at this man. A legend. I love the confidence. Hey, can we bump it?
Real men wear polka dots.
Yeah, exactly. I read that in the National Enquirer recently.
For some reason, Tom took a picture of me and he said, "This is for later." I don't know what that means.
Well,
I don't know what that means. Tom just took a picture and he said, "This is for later. I need it on a green screen so I can put you in front of other stuff."
oh no. Hide the lotion.
Perv alert.
Shout out your city. The offer's on the table. Jeremy, how long are you available for? 10 minutes? 10 minutes here?
It's suffocating me, so I need 5 minutes.
5 minutes. So 5 minutes. If we get a $100 super chat in the next 5 minutes, Jeremy, he's got some stuff to do, but he will come back and we will do a beer bong race. 5 minutes, all right?
Better looking, me or Abby? You tell him. You tell me.
That's good stuff. Chugs, clock's running. We'll bring you back if we get the $100 super chat.
Cowards. You won't.
He doesn't think you'll do it. Jeremy doesn't think you'll do it. Oh my goodness. Joseph. Oh! Joel O'Connell! Joel O'Connell is back!
Bang!
Let's go! Let me read Joseph's real quick, Jeremy. I can't read you. You're on the screen with the with the weak O-line performance. Should the Bears? I'm gonna do this one. Go grab another one. We're gonna race. Should the Bears look to bolster backup quarterbacks too? I'm worried Fields will inevitably get hurt. Also, any Arlington Heights Soldier Field updates? No updates on that front. But I think they're comfortable with Simeon as the backup. He's not great. But hopefully Fields doesn't get hurt. Joel O'Connell. Bang! Boom! He did say boom. Hey, Jeremy, that's why Jeremy's here. So, here, you grab one of these. I'm going to do...
I'm officially now the second hottest girl in the office.
That is good stuff. Jeremy, you're a legend. You absolutely love to see it.
Ian Rappaport could never.
Let me do the Jeremy Chugs trick. You wipe the sweat, spin out the foam. Joel O'Connell, he's been gone for a while. We haven't seen him much since you were on the preseason game.
It just took me in a little dress to get him back. Just running back quick to Bears.
You trick-or-treating in that tonight?
Maybe. I don't want to scare the kids.
T-Main says, Roquan is slow and out of shape. We need speed. Roquan's gone, man. It is what it is. So, Jeremy Chugs and I are gonna race. Type C for Chugs. He's probably going to win. H for Harrison. Here we go. You ready, Jeremy? Count us down, Sam.
I'm born ready.
On go. 3, 2, 1, go, and we're going to start.
All right, the race begins in 3, 2, 1, go. And Jeremy is going to blow Harrison out of the water. Hey, a nice little effort by H. Graham, though. No spillage at all across the board. Good execution. Good technique. The fundamentals are there. That's going to win games for you.
My initial chug went down the wrong pipe. That didn't help.
Lady in the streets, I'm a freak in the sheets.
Oh. Jeremy Chugs, round of applause. Jeremy Chugs, everybody.
The ambiance in here changed very quickly.
We appreciate the support from you guys and from Jeremy Chugs. Joseph says, hurtful, thought the O was for me. Hey, Joseph. Oh! Joseph with the $2 super chat. There you go.
Another 100 and I'll do it.
Hey,
2 more minutes.
hey, there's 2 minutes left. There's 2 minutes left. Jeremy said he'll chug another one. How about this? Another offer. We're at $750. If we get to 1,000, you do a boot?
Yeah, I'll do the boot in this.
Jeremy will do a boot in the dress if we get to 1,000 in supers. We're at 751.
5 minutes.
5 minutes to get there?
5 minutes.
5 minutes to get to 1,000. If we only get a $100 super chat, he'll do another bong.
I may be a bigger cup size. This is a little tight on me.
Have you been skipping the gym recently? It's a little tight on you.
No,
I know you've been running.
I've been running. I think that's why. It's just my muscle mass is just.
I know.
You're just amassing. I don't know.
So 5 minutes. If we get a $100 super chat, Jeremy will do a bong. If we reach 1,000 total, he will do a beer boot, which is 3 beers, 1 chug, 3 beers. If we get to 1,000, so. Shout out your city. Let's get the live chat going. Sub-only chat is still on. We're trying to get to 55,000 subscribers. We have fun here. We keep it real. It's Halloween. Oh, Wasim with the 100. Wasim with the 100. So that's a beer bong race with me and Chugs. We're also 150 away from 1,000. 4 more minutes. 4 more minutes. And Jeremy Chugs will do a boot as well. So we're going to do a beer bong race, me and Chugs. We are 4 minutes away, $145 away from doing a beer boot. Tamber's in Chicago. We got Kevin in Valparaiso. Someone says Eddie is worth a sack of nickels. Have you watched him this year? He's been pretty good. Kit Stanford in Edwardsville. Ellis and Marshall. We got Brandon in Indianapolis. OMG from Nathaniel. Hey, Chugs is a legend. Lyra in Arlington Heights. We got Jose in Joliet. Peoria. We got Fly the Dub in Windsor. Bismarck, North Dakota. James in Hoover, Alabama. We got AC Adam in Chicago. I-Roll in Morris. Sebastian in Indianapolis. Xanon in Cleburne, Texas. That's only about an hour from here. Cerro Gordo, Illinois. Javen in New York. You know Harrison, South Loop, baby. Chi-Town. What's up, Julian? What's good, man? Springfield is where Jay is. All right. Time update. We got almost halfway there. Just over 2.5 minutes. If we get to $1,000, Jeremy Chugs. In that time, Jeremy Chugs will do a beer boot. Marcus Jones, what defensive linemen do you think we should target next year in free agency or possibly available linebackers? I could pull up just some guys here. Let's see what the linebacker market is looking like in free agency next year. Give me a second here. Without a list in front of me, I mean, there's just no way I could properly answer this. And if you're going to pay money to ask the question, I'd like to answer it properly. And Spotrak's website is down, so that is good. Give me a sec here, guys. We got Scott in Tennessee. Appreciate that. Spotrak's not seeming to work. Yeah. Is it down for you too, Sam?
Yeah, it's not
Over
working.
the cap, 23.3.
I've got.
I'm pulling up over the cap now, but
Yeah, that's what I'm going for here too. But it won't even break it down. Oh, there we go. All right.
trying to pull it up here.
So, Levante David, is that correct?
I don't know. Spotrak is my go-to.
It says over the cap, but void.
Yeah. Let me try one more time, Spotrak. Usually their website's fine, but it's not
funny.
working today.
I just pulled up Levante David's contract on there, and it's working fine. So, Levante David, it looks as though.
Yeah,
those
Spotrak
are void
completely
years,
down
so
for me.
he can be a
Levante
free agent.
David's out there if you want to vet.
Rashawn Evans, a youngish linebacker.
Ellis,
not a good
I knew
option.
that, Julia. Sometimes when I read these, I'm all over the place. 1 minute, need $142 to get to 1,000, but shout out to Wasim, Marcus. I'm going to try and get that list for you. Let me take a look here. But Wasim says, bless your livers. Hey, we only drink at work, so it's okay. We only drink at work. Another tally to the $100 Super Chat Club. Appreciate you. Tony says, realistically, how many years from contention? I think this team can compete. I don't know about Super Bowl next year, but I think they can be a playoff contender next year. I don't see why not. If they didn't shit the bed against Washington, they'd be 4-4. They'd be in the mix this year. So 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
I do have a few more names on here for Marcus, in case you want, by the way.
Yeah, go.
So
give me some shout-outs here.
As far as linebackers, obviously Levante David's the biggest name. There are some other good, pretty solid players. Drew Tranquil.
Yeah.
Leighton Vander Esch, maybe on the cheaper end.
He's been good this year. Yeah.
Tremaine Edmonds.
Okay.
Kaiser White, who's had a pretty solid year for the Eagles. Anthony Barr with the Cowboys, if you need a veteran. Devin Bush, a former first-round pick who kind of fell apart after his ACL injury.
He's had some
but
kind
could have
of
some solid value.
He's had some issues, but yeah.
Alex Singleton was signed mid-season by the Broncos, and
He's actually been pretty solid.
Is already their leading tackler.
Yeah.
Just tells you everything you need to know about the Broncos.
I kind of see the Bears going that way at linebacker, kind of like that tier 2 market.
Yeah.
So
Landon Roberts, Sione Takitaki, Corey Littleton, Mac Wilson, and I'll end on a classic,
right.
Jalen Smith.
I don't want Jalen Smith. All right, Marcus, there you go. There's some linebackers for you. Julian here. We're going to need some young guys to step up ASAP. We definitely going to be tanking the rest of the year, but if the offense still balls out, we'll get a top 10 pick. That's a win in my book. Yeah, I mean, the rest of this year, you want Justin Fields to continue to grow. If you win games along the way, which I think you will, if the offense keeps putting up 30 points a game like they have the last 2 weeks, yeah, you're going to run into some wins. But, yeah, you're going to lose some games too. The defense might struggle, and that's because you've traded Roquan Smith, you've traded Robert Quinn, 2 of your cornerstones. Quinn wasn't playing great this year, but his presence, I think, will be missed. So, yeah, I mean, that's where the Bears are. Marty K with the 5, love the trade, but Ravens can't afford both Jackson and Smith and can't afford to tag both either. Interesting to see how it plays out. I think they're going to pay Roquan. We'll see what happens with Lamar. I think they'll end up keeping him, but yeah, I mean, that's going to be interesting to watch play out. I mean, I don't think you make this trade if you're Baltimore if you're not paying Roquan. So that's just what I think. Appreciate the 5. Got to take a sip. Jeremy, we didn't get to 1,000 in the 5 minutes, but you want to do this bong race? That we got 100. You said if we got 100, it'd be a beer bong race. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, if we get to 1,000 by the end of the bong race, Jeremy will do a boot. Is that fair to say? He's getting the beer bong ready.
Still in his dress.
Still in the dress.
Or somebody's dress. It may not be his. Maybe it is his.
Yeah, where'd you get that, by the way?
What I'm saying is we would have gotten there by now if we were on Ravens.
Jeremy Chugs, who helps produce our Ravens content, said if we were live on the Ravens channel, we would have gotten to 1,000. So he's calling you guys out.
Can you confirm or deny that you got this dress from somebody?
What does that even mean?
Can you confirm?
I mean,
can you confirm?
even if he bought it, he got it from somebody.
I did not make this dress.
No. Can you confirm or deny whether you previously owned this dress?
I still don't think you asked that correct.
I don't know.
Here's the question: did you buy that, or is it a loaner? That's the question.
Oh, it's a loaner. It's here for a good time, not a long time.
Okay, there you go.
Breaking news.
There you go. Breaking news. Appreciate the 5, Marty K.
I guess we'll just do the beer bong race.
All right. So, do you have the beer bong? What'd you do with it? All right. I'll pour mine. If we get to 1,000 by the end of the beer bong race, Chugs will still do the boot. He says, but he says he's losing blood circulation in that thing, so he's got to take it off. We hit this from Marty K. Let's go to Patrick. Get a pass-catching tight end. Billingsley, Texas. What's up, man? Yeah, it'd be nice to have one of those big-time pass-catching tight ends. There's been Mike Gesicki trade buzz, but I don't think he gets moved.
I feel women's pain. All the guys in the office are just staring at me like a piece of meat.
Well, it's Halloween. I don't do that, but, you know. I think it is. I think it's closed. All right, Patrick, thank you. Lewis, good. Poles is getting the best deals done.
We're 130 away.
123 away.
I can't do math.
Jeremy Chugs wants to do a boot in the polka dot dress. It's Halloween, but we got to get to 1,000. That's the deal.
Where's your spirit?
Well, they've been bringing the heat recently, so got to show them some love. All right, type C for Chugs. Type H for Harrison. I was close-ish last time, but you're built different. You're built different. All right. We'll hit the news after this again. Sam, count us down and let's.
How far are we away?
We're $123 away from 1,000. Jeremy doesn't think y'all can get there.
Like I said, if we were on Ravens, we would have gotten it by now.
The flock would have delivered. Is that what you're saying? Oh man.
I'm not saying that.
He's not saying it. All right, count us down, Sammy.
And round 2 in 3, 2, 1, and go. Oh, Jeremy got a slow start there. Come on, Harrison. No, he thought. Another solid run from H. Graham.
Guys, get your screenshots now for later.
Smile. Smile for the camera.
All right.
I tried.
Last second. If anybody wants the boot.
He's going to change, so windpipe again. God almighty. All right.
You sexist boys.
There he goes. Jeremy Chuggs, a legend. Jeremy Chuggs. All right.
Dress needs pockets.
What? So you can hold your phone? Here are the Dre details. 2nd and a 5th. A.J. Klein to Chicago for Roquan Smith. Oh, there's a 20. There's a 20. We're at 900. We're at 900, Chuggs. Don't go to the changing room. Does that buy them 2 minutes? He says that $20 super chat has bought 1 minute. If we get to 1,000, he'll do it still. Kit says, let's go. I owe 2 shots, by the way, so I will do that. Kit Stanford says, let's go. So he's trying to make it happen. Cheers. Roquan Smith getting traded to the Ravens for a 2nd and a 5th, and A.J. Klein. Jordan Schultz of The Score reporting that Ryan Poles didn't want to risk Roquan holding out, and that Roquan's youth was a real factor for Baltimore, so kind of makes sense. We got a $100 super chat. We're $3 away. We got 20 seconds. We need one person to send in a $5 or even a $3 super chat. I rolled tobacco with a $100 super chat. Let's go, tobacco. Let's go. There it is. There it is. Jeremy Chuggs. I rolled tobacco. I haven't seen you before, but you are now in the $100 super chat club, which we will update that graphic for Sunday's watch party when the Bears take on the Dolphins. Shout out to you. You're a real one. Shout out to all the super chatters today. Mike, that's another shot. So Jeremy Chuggs is going to come do a beer boot, and I'm going to time it. Jeremy, if you set the record in the polka dot dress, it might be historic. The super chats are flying in now all of a sudden. Hit the subscribe button. If you're still hanging out with us, we're having fun here. Breaking down the Roquan trade, answering your questions. We love the audience interaction. If you're a fan of that, hit that sub button. We do stuff like this all the time with our mailbag videos. So subscribe today, youtube.com/BearsNow. We're 350 subs away, 54,650. We got to get to 55,000 by Sunday. Can we get there by Sunday? Tell the people to subscribe.
I'm back, you sickos. Subscribe now to Bears Now.
Let's go.
To get the latest Bears news and rumors. Marsh, my eyes are up here. Being looked at like a piece of meat in this office.
I know.
God.
Men are animals, aren't
Right?
they?
I'm just saying.
So ridiculous. Subscribe. All the support's been amazing. So Jeremy Chuggs is a legend. He's telling you to subscribe. If he's saying it, you should do it. If I say it, it's like, yeah, I get if you don't. But if Jeremy Chuggs does, I mean, come on.
My eyes are here, boys.
Hit the sub button. Jeremy, I'm going to time you. What's your record?
7 seconds.
Exactly 7?
I think it's like 6.9.
6.9 seconds. Put this thing
Nice.
up. Very nice.
Very nice.
6.9 seconds is his record. This thing has 3 beers in it, okay? 3 beers in 7 seconds. Can it be done? Type Chuggs in the chat to show support. I'm going to time him here. Provide the play-by-play. So here we go. I'm going to time it here, stop it, and then I'll show you guys the results.
All right.
So you ready? Whenever the liquid hits, That's when I start. That's how we go. Get the chugs going. We got Matthew, Billy, Benjamin,
I think a couple
Alex.
More, I think a couple more $2 super chats will really
Inspire you.
motivate me to beat the record right now.
He said some $2 super chats will inspire him. Get the chugs going. Come on. Let's go. Xanon, Brian, King, Sean D, Ramon. They're all rooting for you, buddy.
All right.
Whenever you're ready, we're starting this piece.
There we go.
Let me ask you this. As someone who does this for a living, kinda?
Yeah.
Is 2 beer bongs in the last 20 minutes, does that make it tougher? Be honest.
I mean, I've done multiple boots in a row.
And
before.
does it make it tougher to try and set a record?
I think it loosens the.
It's like beer pong. The more you drink, the better you get.
I think it loosens me up a little bit.
Okay.
Boys.
All right. He's ready. Type chugs in the chat whenever he's ready to go. I'm starting the timer.
Guys, just a reminder. I look like Dwight Howard's ex-girlfriend.
Oh my goodness. That's too much. All right. Compose yourself. That was brutal. I mean, you just set yourself up to fail. I mean,
All right.
get the umbrellas out here. This could be ugly.
All right. Y'all ready?
Wow. Okay. All right. Whenever it hits, I'm starting it. Seven, 8, 9. That's pretty damn good.
Failure.
7, 8, 9. That's top 5 time for you, probably.
Yeah.
7, 8, 9. Just about a second longer than your record. That's pretty good. I mean, the blood constrictions that you're dealing with.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
He goes to a part of it. Kevin, that's funny.
What'd he say? Let me see. Where's Kevin?
Yeah.
That's yikes.
Grade the chug, A, B, C, D, or F, sub-only chat.
That is,
Get in the comments.
That is brutal. Grade the chug. A lot of B. I mean, how is it not an A? The guy just chugged 3 beers in less than 8 seconds. I'm lucky to just get through a beer bong without some spillage. Okay.
Hey.
Patrick says A. Well, there's some A pluses.
They-
Carlos, Sean.
They demand excellence.
Hey, it is the Bears. You know, you demand excellence. So you don't get it more often than not. But
All
All right.
Cheers, boys.
yeah, loosen up those muscles.
You perverts.
All right, we're going to hit a couple super chats, and then maybe play a little shot clock, then we're going to get out of here. Aaron Hunt says, boom! Yep, you guys did it. Cheers to you. I owe a sip. Canyon Cooper says, chugs. Hey, Canyon, cheers to you. Chugs appreciates it. Honestly, I know sometimes you guys are probably like, where do the super chats go to? It allows us to hire people like Chugs. Producer Sam, who's been here, 3 years now? 2.5?
2.5, yeah.
I mean, when I first started working here, there were 6 employees. Now we have over 20. So these super chats, don't feel like you're just wasting your money. It allows us to do more. 2 years ago, I wouldn't be able to have the resources to be live like this for 2 hours. It just wouldn't be possible. We've added 4 new studios, so your super chats, they go a long way. Believe me, whether you're sending in $1 or $100, it's every dime counts. So appreciate you guys, really do. Wasim, hey Chugs, Wasim wants to let you know that he's smoking weed. So there you go. Cheers to that, Wasim. Got to crack a new beer. Carlos Navarez, bear down with the $5 super chat. Cheers, Carlos. Hey, you guys are legends. Mike Mangione with the 10. Cheers. We caught up on soups. Where are we at? Mike sent a 20 earlier, but I think we hit that one.
That was the one that got us over 1,000
Oh, that's right.
officially.
Do we have the shot clock weigh-in?
I'm working on it. Until
We'll
then,
start-
why don't you break down the
Want to
trade one more
start
time
start
for
it
us?
at 2 minutes or a minute? What are you thinking? We can do a minute.
Yeah.
We'll start at a minute. We'll talk about the trade here. Roquan Smith going to Baltimore for a 2nd and a 5th. A.J. Klein. I'm looking at the live poll, by the way, which has almost 5,000 votes. 51% say they like the Roquan trade. 49% say they don't like it. And that doesn't surprise me. This is a tough one. It is. This is arguably your best football player. But he plays a less significant position. He called out the front office. He demanded a trade during training camp, and he wasn't playing his best football this year. He was inconsistent. I understand it. I do. I understand it. Who won the trade? CHI for the Bears, BAL for the Baltimores. Sub-only chat is still on. Subscribe if you want a shout-out. If you're commenting on this and it's not coming through, it's because you're not subscribed. Yep, sounds good. Javen says Chicago. Carlos says Chicago. Both won. Billy says Chicago. King Hindi says Chicago. Get Smoked says Ravens. Baltimore from Bill Wise. Klein has been a pretty good linebacker for a while. Yeah, he's had a nice little career. This year he's only played in 2 games, but even last year as a backup linebacker he had 35 tackles. So year before 75, which is a career high. He's 31 now. Not at his peak, but he's done some good things. 50-50 from J-Rack. Bill Wise says Baltimore. Ellis says Chicago. Javen says 50-50. Travis says Chicago. Torian Bear Down from J-Rock. What's good? They both won. Yeah, I mean, I think it could end up being a win-win here. Could end up being a win-win. All right, as you guys know, the NFL trade deadline is tomorrow, which means got to free up studio space. But we'll play shot clock. Sometimes we do this on these live shows. If we get a super chat of any value in the next minute, we'll stay alive. Then we'll start the clock again. Same deal. If we don't get a super chat, we have to sign off. That's how it works. We still have 900 people live, so if people want to stay alive, if you want me to answer more questions, keep the supers coming. If not, I'm going to sign off, clear out the studio for some of our other channels. So here we go. 1 minute. 1 minute. And in the meantime, spam FGB. I'll get some shout-outs. If we don't get a super chat, we're going to call it quits. If you want us to stay alive, super chat of any amount, $1, $10, $100, doesn't matter. We will stay alive. We'll keep playing shot clock. It's FGB. There's iRoll Tobacco with the $2. So we'll reset the clock here. Appreciate iRoll Tobacco. Malcolm, Patrick, Jaron saying FGB. $2 super chat. Since it's a small one, we got to reset right away. So here we go. Shot clock starts again. 60 seconds. If we don't get a super, we're calling it quits. If we do, we'll hang out. Joel O'Connell and Patrick. All right, since a couple came in, that'll buy you a little time here. Joel O'Connell says FGB, so get the FGBs going here on Bears Now. Joel O'Connell is back. He's better than ever. Spam FGB in the chat. Few coming in now, so we can answer a few questions, maybe even some hashtag Bears. Bought you guys some time. Shout out Joel O'Connell. Patrick, what about Mustafer's little brother at Penn State? I did notice that recently. I was wondering, is that his little brother? I think it is. He actually looks pretty good, so maybe. Cheers. Cheers. Maybe he could be something. Maybe he could be something. And kudos to Sam Mustafer, man. I mean, got benched. I don't think he was glaringly bad this past week. You know, as a backup, I think he's solid. Carlos with the $1. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, my friend. Jaron Brown says, you think Eddie is next? We'll see. I rolled tobacco. That's a couple of sips here. Appreciate the 10, my friend. Adam with the Hungarian currency, FGB. Kit Stanford saying FGB in the chat. So is Billy, K. McLaren, Joel O'Connell, Carlos, and Malcolm. Patrick, appreciate that. You want to flash a couple of hashtag Bears just since we got a couple super chats there? I think that buys them a couple questions here. Someone says, does Hogan Johns? No more hashtag Bears. It's all good. That's all good. If you super chat, we'll keep staying live. I'll just read a couple of the comments here. Does Hogan Johns wear a red dress as well as this show? I think not. Let me first say, Hogan Johns, they do a great job. Hoag's a good dude. I've talked to him on Instagram a couple times about some non-football stuff. He's a good guy. I like him a lot. I think Adam Johns covers this team really well. They do a great job. I recommend their show. They do great. So I'm a big fan of theirs. Would love to collab with them sometime. But yeah, we keep it a little more edgy here. We have some fun. There's no doubt. So I'm sure they'll break this trade down too, and provide some good analysis. All right, I'm being told we got to reset the shot clock here. So here we go. If we don't get a super chat in the next minute, gotta sign off. FGB in the chat in the meantime, or if you have any questions, I'll get some shout outs here. Patrick said Xavier Hutchinson from Iowa State, possibly. I got to do a deeper dive in the draft. Who do you like is the Bears' first rounder in this draft? Alex asks. 20 seconds gone, by the way. 40 seconds, need a super. Big-time receiver, pass rusher, offensive lineman. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Manuel wants to know if Montgomery is next. 30 seconds. If we don't get a super chat, we're done. 30 seconds. Are Montgomery and Jackson next? I don't know. Maybe. 20 seconds left. Clock's ticking. If we don't get a super chat, we got to sign off. Ellis says FGB. What about Jackson Smith and Jigba from Ohio State? Is he going to declare this year or next? I think he'll go this year, but he's had a frustrating injury-riddled season. 10 seconds. If we don't get a super chat, we're done. We are done. Nate the Great says, what is Claypool and Judy's value? Second, third, somewhere in that range. Oh, one just snuck in right before the buzzer. That was close. Patrick sending in a super chat. Appreciate that. AJ Klein's stats. First of all, let me read Patrick. Really enjoy you guys. Thank you, Patrick. Subscribe if you're a fan. Spread the word. Let's continue to grow here. Let me read this. AJ Klein's stats. In his career, which is a 10-year career, 454 tackles, 15.5 sacks. This year he's got 5 tackles in 2 games for Baltimore. Hadn't done a ton this year, but last year had 35 tackles. Year before, career high 75 tackles. So he's done some things. He started 81 games in this league, so he's got experience. He's played in 136 games. So, yeah, he's been around. Torian says Bears Barroom Network live at 7. Yeah, they do a good job too. All right, here we go. Or let me wait for the weigh-in or the question pop up. 1 minute here. Shot clock's got to reset. Why did they trade him? Ishmael asks. I don't think they wanted to pay him top dollar. There was a disconnect between Roquan and the front office. You know, Ryan Poles is thinking long-term. I miss you on calling, working, can't log in. You can't log in? Delete the app and reinstall it, Patrick. That should work for you. 30 seconds gone. It goes by quick. If we don't get a super chat, we got to sign off here. Got some other stuff going on today here at Chat Sports. Got about 20 seconds now. Malcolm says FGB. Shave the man's chest with Manscaped. You advertise for 100. Jeremy's already changed, so no more Jeremy today. 10 seconds here. Oh, just snuck it in. Canyon Cooper with the super chat. With the being a $2, we got to start it quick here. Canyon Cooper. Oh, there's Joel with the 10. Canyon Cooper, appreciate it. Joel O'Connell with the $10. After the Washington and Dallas loss, trade Eddie, trade Monty, trade Jalen. I would not trade Jalen Johnson. Probably not Eddie either. I want to keep Monty too, but if the offers are great, maybe. Play hard, play to win. We lose the rest of the games, get a top pick plus more. I see what you're saying, but you can't trade everybody. Like, some of these guys can be part of the future. But I hear you, Joel. I hear you. I'm just glad you're back, man. Hope you're doing well. Hit me up on IG. Let's catch up. All right, man. Here we go. Got to reset the clock here. 1 minute. Eddie is getting old and having a good year. Probably has good value. I mean, Eddie Jackson is 28 years old. He'll turn 29 in December. It's not old. I think he could play at a good level for at least a couple more years. Now, is he a 10-year player? No, he's not. But I don't think you should just trade him to trade him. The offer would have to be good. It would have to be good. 30 seconds gone. Goes by quick. Super chat. Otherwise, we are done. Appreciate all the support today. $1,000 in supers. Good stuff. Appreciate all the help. Cool. Malcolm says overrated. You talking about Roquan or Eddie Jackson? How are we going to pay Lamar, Peters, and Smith after the season? Marcus Peters probably gone. There's Patrick with the super chat with 5 seconds to spare. Patrick, he says, how do you feel about 4th and a 5th for a third? 4th? Oh, you mean like using a 4th and a 5th to move up into the third? I'd be open to that. Yeah, absolutely. Got to find the right trade. You got to find a trade partner, but yeah, be open to that for sure. All right, $2. Got to reset it here. Eddie literally was overrated. He's a prissy diva. Eddie Jackson has 4 picks in 8 games this year. Matt Eberflus just named him a captain for the rest of the season. I mean, look, like, say what you want about Eddie Jackson. The last 2 years haven't been great, but he's been really good this year. Guy's been a ball hawk. 20 seconds gone. Need a super chat or we're done. Someone says, I wonder if Roquan's mouth got him traded. I don't think so. I mean, he wasn't producing, and he wanted to be the highest paid linebacker. I say he wasn't producing. He wasn't producing like the highest paid linebacker. So the Bears said, you know what? We're not going to go through a potential holdout again. We're going to call it. 20 seconds. If we don't get a super chat, we're going to sign off here. 800 people hanging out. I'm down to stay live, but if not, we'll call it a day. It's been a fun day. Interesting day. Roquan traded. 10 seconds here. 10, 9, 8. What's the super chat record? 2,100. The Bears preseason game against the Browns this year. We got $2,100. Got about half of that today. Almost 1,100. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Timer is up. If we get a super chat in the next 10 seconds, we'll extend it, but then we have to reduce the shot clock to 30 seconds. Appreciate everybody for tuning in today. This is why you subscribe. When the Bears make a move, we go live, we break it down, we take your questions, we have fun, we drink beers. We do it all. It's a good time. Appreciate all the support today. Some new $100 club members. We got I Roll Tobacco. Joel O'Connell is back. Wasim hanging out. Good stuff for everybody today. Here are the trade details one more time. Roquan Smith sent to the Baltimore Ravens for a 2nd, a 5th, and A.J. Klein. That is the trade. All right, no more super chats. Appreciate you guys today. Shout out producer Sam. He produced the Robert Quinn trade. He's now produced the Roquan trade. He's been a warrior for us here at Bears Now. Hey, still got about 22 hours until the trade deadline. If something else happens, we will have you covered. Until then, we are signing off here on Chicago Bears Now. Appreciate all the support. Adios.